how to process heavy emotions. We all go through difficult times. We all have the capacity to feel all kinds of emotions. When you come here to this earth as a human being, you are meant to feel. And today I want to share with you how I personally process really heavy and deep emotions. First of all, what are emotions? Emotions are energy in motion. It is an energy that makes you be human. This is actually one of your greatest gifts, that you're able to feel the whole spectrum of emotions. And in our society, there's this different range of emotions. The ones are good and the ones are bad to feel, but basically all emotions are valid. So if you feel a lot of joy and happiness in your life, this is as valid as feeling really deep, heavy, dense emotions. So the first thing that I do when I feel that something is coming up, I really feel this heaviness. Most of the time I feel it in my solar plexus on my throat after a situation or after I got triggered. I really feel, well, there's something that is coming up. And what I usually did in the past is to suppress it, to do something else, to not feel. This is really what our society is teaching us. It is to look away from the emotion and actually hide. But the first thing that I personally like to do is to just let it unfold, because sometimes it takes time for the emotion to really come up to the surface for me to be able to feel it. What I love to do is to just let the emotion be, to really tune into myself and hold and create space for myself to feel. Most of the time when something comes up, it takes some moments. I love to sit with it. I love to create space for myself, because if there's no space for me to feel, I will easily do something else to suppress the emotion and to not feel it. So as soon as I create a space where I can fully be and really take time and draw my energy back, and this is something that is really important for me, is to have the space to be with myself, then I can connect with these most inner parts within myself on a deeper level. And I really try to take off the pressure off my shoulders that I need to function, that I need to do many things, and really respect that right now I'm feeling something heavy that really hurts, that wants to be processed and felt and witnessed. Because in the end, emotions are messengers. They're deep, deep, deep messengers that are here to teach us something that lives within us. So as soon as I created this space for myself, I really tried to have compassion and to not force myself to feel anything. Not force myself to unlock or change the emotional state. I think this is one of the most powerful practices that I've been learning over the past years, is to not judge myself when I feel bad, when I feel a lot of doubt, when I feel so much pain within my chest. I think in these moments we can neglect ourselves really strongly, because we learn from the society that if we feel something heavy, we are not good enough anymore because we are weak. But actually understanding that we need to go through these feelings of weakness and pain sometimes to actually be strong and to actually be authentic, we can really unlock this power that lies within the dark, that lies within the suppressed. So the more we just bring it into the room with us, the more we can integrate these most inner parts within ourselves that basically lie within every human being. We all go through phases of not feeling so good and then feeling amazing. It's like this cyclical nature of all things. It comes and goes in waves, and understanding that in that moment and really having compassion for myself helps me so much to move through literally anything. The more I have compassion for myself, the more I can really feel and unlock the emotion. As soon as it comes up to the forefront, I really just try to be with it and move through it and with it. I love to look into what I believe is true that makes me feel the emotion. Most of the time there's a belief, a core belief that lives within you that basically lets the emotion happen through you. So if you believe that you are not good enough, you might feel that you're not good enough. But if you change the belief behind the emotion will change as well. And this is a deep process, and sometimes it happens within days, sometimes it takes a longer time. And most of the time, some of the core emotions are coming back into my life after a while, even deeper, so that I can reflect back on them. It is a really deep process, and it takes a lot of courage and commitment and compassion towards myself, that I can over and over again hold myself in the fullness of my being, because I came to this earth to experience the polarity of all things, and there's nothing wrong with feeling the density of pain or anger or frustration. It actually needs to be felt for me to experience what it is like to be a human being. And especially in the New Age community, there's a lot of focus only on the light, only on the love, only on the things that feel good and joyful and exciting. But actually, I believe the most powerful thing that you can do is to connect and link yourself with the most intense and dark shadows that live within you. And don't try to change or fix them, but really hug them and let them be there. Let the past be the past. Let all the experiences that you made be the experience that you made. Because they're part of yourself, they're part of your growth journey. And in the end, every time when I walk through a portal of shadow, of doubt, of pain, I come out on the other side and I learned something really deep, because I could transmute this pain. Through this pain, I could grow. It's the same like the birthing channel when we come to this earth. It's so painful for the mother and the child. It is so painful. It is something so new and it's so dark. But as soon as you're born, you meet yourself on the other side of the womb of the darkness. And this is basically what we're here for, to over and over transmute our shadows and to transmute our emotions. So I love to dive deep into where these beliefs come from. When I feel doubt or when I feel loneliness, I love to connect with the belief that is behind it. And I love to feel, when was the last time that I felt this emotion? When was the first time that I felt this emotion? And what helps me the most is to really be in the moment and to sit down and to write. I love to write. Writing helps me so much to deeply connect with what is underlying, what is beneath what I feel, and to really create that space for the emotion to come through. And when it comes, I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to cry like when I was a child. It was the most natural thing as a child to cry when something hurts and to laugh when something is beautiful. So I really hold myself and I cry, I let it out. Actually, crying is as powerful as laughing, is as powerful as feeling the intensity of your fullness. So the more I allow myself to just cry and really feel it, the more the emotion can transform itself within me. Sharing is caring. The more I share with other people how I feel, and to really have friends listening, or even talking with my therapist or my mentor, the more I can release the emotion. This is really powerful and potent to have a person that you can talk with. And there's nothing shameful about having a therapist or a coach, to really share how you feel and to have someone holding space for your fullness so that you can have a reflection from someone else. Being held by someone else and holding yourself, especially when you go through a hard time, is inevitably important. Because in the end, yes, we need to face our deepest shadows by ourselves, and yet being in community and having people around you that support you are so important, because we are social creatures. We, in the end, can't do everything by ourselves. Having the support from someone else can deeply help you. Mother Earth, she's our home, and every time I feel heavy, I feel a lot of pain, I love to connect with Earth. I love to search for a body of water, to go to a lake or a river, to really immerse myself into nature, because the natural world always brings me back to my essence and it makes everything more easy. I really love to speak to earth. I really love to feel her presence and to feel the ground and to really just be and to breathe and to connect with my own body, to really come into the body, to move my body, to dance, to stretch, to also nourish myself, especially in times when it's heavy. In the past, I tend to overeat, I tend to binge eat, I tend to really lose myself into the dark, into the dense. Nowadays, I really try to stop myself and be, okay, what do I need? What is good for me right now? What makes me feel better? And it's most of the time going to a sauna, cooking a really nice meal for myself, having a cup of warm cacao or tea, really connecting to my body, dancing, moving myself, and really holding that space for the most inner parts of my being, and especially my inner child, asking my inner girl and connecting with her, what do you need? What do you feel? I definitely want to do a specific other video about how to connect with your inner child, but this is one of the most powerful and essential things I'm doing in my life over and over again, is to connect with my inner girl, the inner child that lives within me, that experienced all of these traumatic events. And I love to really hold her and really tell her that she's safe. I love to read to her. I love to write to her. I love to speak to her. I really love to hold her. I even have a little stuffed animal that I love to have in my arms because it really brings me back into childhood. There are so many tools where you can reconnect with your nervous system and restructure your nervous system. The most important thing is to understand that emotions come and go in cycles, and that there's nothing wrong about feeling the intensity of life. We all go through it. We all feel these intense emotions, and it is one of the deepest lessons and teachings to really unlock the emotions and to feel the fullness. One thing that is really important that I try to remind myself of over and over again is that there is no specific timeline. It is not linear. Emotions come and go in waves, and they can easily come and just overwhelm you like a wave, and then they're gone for a specific time. Maybe I don't feel a lot of pain for several months, and then it just comes back and hits me like a wave. And it's really understanding the cycles of nature, the cycles of emotions, that nothing is linear. And so when I'm in a process of feeling, even though it's so hard sometimes, I really try to just hold myself and tell myself that it is going to be okay, and that it is okay to feel this density, to feel this heaviness, to feel the fullness of my emotions, and that there's nothing wrong about it, because the more we actually push it away, the stronger it becomes and the darker it becomes, because we push it away into the darkness. So the more we bring the dark into the light, the more it actually transforms ourselves and life itself. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can type into the comments or reach out to me. I'm really excited to also share that I'm supporting people on their journey through their inner landscapes, through coaching and mentoring. So if you feel the call to work with me, I'm really excited to get to know you. And I send you so much love. I deeply see you. I know that we're in this together. And I know that you can move through any challenge in your life because you came here with the strength of feeling.